Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Sinister City. So the story of this game has taken a weird twist, and it's more about like actors and Hollywood with vampires added on top of it for really no reason. In all honesty, if this was just set in Hollywood with normal people, it would be almost exactly the same story. But I am also reminded that I just played Alan Wake. I really didn't enjoy Alan Wake because you were running around in very linear 3D environments, most of it in the forest, and you were picking up pieces of manuscripts, and on moderate occasions you'd be attacked by enemies that you had to shine flashlights on before you could kill them with your gun. In comparison to this game, while the hidden object puzzles aren't great, they're very mediocre, just middle of the road fare. They are nowhere as slow as shining the light on enemies in Alan Wake. And the areas you walk around in this game, while there's significantly smaller of areas, are nowhere as boring as running around in the same forest section over and over again. In a weird way, I would say more effort, and even possibly this game is better than Alan Wake. Like, more effort was put into this, not in the number of man hours, not in the number of 3D environment designers or anything like that. There was a much higher budget in Alan Wake, but this game actually has more in it.
I should find what the director asked for. Then I'll be able to get into the studio.
So we're trying to get into the studio to talk to the person who's engaged to marry my bride.
Okay, you'll star as a vampire for our photo shoot. You won't pass for a real bloodsucker, but you'll make a convincing actor. First the costume, then the makeup.
So then they start us again having to find the costume. And we've already seen some of this stuff, so if you just remember, you can pretty much get 3 out of the 5 things immediately. The only thing left is a hat, which is the hat we've been moving back and forth. So, kind of a nice callback even, that hat I moved at least a dozen times backwards and forwards looking for things under it, and now we come and use it. So we give him all this outfit.
Well, friend, smile for the camera.
He doesn't look too bad. As a actor shapeshifter achievement unlocked. So now we have a headshot / photo of ourselves. This scene in particular, you'd never do anything in this scene. That's a waste. But he is also standing like in the door. Look where his feet are. Like, they didn't quite program it. It makes sense here. It makes sense here. He gets taller as he gets closer to the screen, so there's a forced perspective here. But when you're standing in the door, let's see if we can re-trigger that. Yep. They just don't load him in the right place. So there's a bug. So if we give this to the Frankenstein security guard, he'll let us through, hopefully.
You again? What do you want?
This is a very interesting idea.
Mr. Ipkiss has
Of
invited
having
me to
more
guest star on his show.
characters.
This is my character.
I envy you movie stars. My career hasn't taken off, despite an education in acting and production. 5 stinking degrees later, and I still haven't played Count Dracula.
So, may I come in?
By all means.
Vamp Kids. Is that the channel? Is VAMP?
Hi there, would you be so kind as to tell me where I can find Ipkiss?
Can you tell me who is the most tragic figure here? Whose tears could fill an ocean of sorrow?
I love emo vampires. It's always a good joke.
Me?
Quite the contrary. It's me. The 600th edition of my broadcast, Vamp Kids, is scheduled for today, but the generator has shorted. Oh, think of the children.
So, you're the ever-popular Ipkiss. Let's try to repair your generator.
And the eye color just seems to be off here. Has it always been this way, or is it getting worse? Like, what would be funny is if it turned out that the main character was bitten at the beginning of the story and you're slowly turning into a vampire and not even realizing it while dealing with all of this. That would actually be a very interesting story. I don't think anybody's ever tried that. Like the slow descent into being a vampire and picking up all kinds of plugs and circuitry things. And all kinds of little bat dolls. Personally, I don't think Dracula or any of the Universal monsters can be taken seriously. I know that Universal Studios is trying to do a reboot, but they've been trying for probably 4 movies now, with things like Frankenstein, The Mummy, the general concepts. The most recent one would have been The Mummy, where the mummy isn't even, I think, a mummy, because it's just a monster, and I'm not even sure the character was Egyptian when all was said and done. It was a female mummy, which nothing wrong with that. We had Bride of Frankenstein, and going in similar ways would be fine.
I should repair the generator.
But I just don't think you can take them seriously. I think it is a cartoonish idea. It is a Goosebumps style tale to tell. I wonder if I have to get all of these connected, or if I can get away with just doing some of these. Some of this is... Wow, that misclicked way farther than it should have. I imagine I need to do all of it. Get all of these lines lined up. And they're all connected to what look like really big fuses or capacitors, maybe, and computer chips. You don't really hear a lot about fuses blowing in houses and such. I think probably because we've established better rules and regulations. This is weird. These can't line up. It doesn't seem like, just not having terrible electronics and not having toasters and things that require a lot of extra fuse work. Let's see. Something's off here. There's like this right here. If I put that down that way, it won't work. So this forces this, which forces this, which forces this, which then forces this, which then doesn't line up that. Okay, what if we did that? That fixes that issue. So now everything on the bottom half is lined up, which then only leaves this. And I got it. Apparently there was a quarter turn I could have done. Is this really Ipkiss?
Well done, stranger. You're a genius.
I thought Ipkiss was a news reporter.
Ipkiss, I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
After the broadcast, after the broadcast. Now, where did my plush bats fly off to?
So now we have to go find all the bats, which won't be too much of a problem because the game specifically made it very easy for us to see those first. The music's pretty bad. They're trying with the music. It's just not. It's not subtle enough. Actually, is the problem. It's too noticeable, and in video games, you don't want your music to be noticeable because either you're probably doing it wrong, one way or the other. You're making the game less about the game and more about the music, whether the music is good or not. I've heard, well, you can go right back to Alan Wake. Alan Wake at the end of each episode played some licensed music, all of which they lost the license to, and then eventually caused them to not be able to sell their own game at all. And in playing that music, they didn't use it at all to improve on the game. It was just kind of background music. I'm looking for a pigeon. There's a guinea pig. And in a game like this where there's really no penalty for clicking, you just kind of want to keep your clicks per minute kind of high. Just click on anything that strikes you as even possibly something to click on. Of course, it is possible that you're just missing it, and you're gonna continuously miss it. See, it certainly seems like I have clicked on everything at this point. So click on the things that aren't things. Just click on blank screens while I use my eyes to... Is it that? It's a drawing of a pigeon. Alright, hedgehog, pliers, nail, hand, nail, Santa, pliers. Where are the pliers? Where are you hiding, pliers? Hidden back there. And it's not incredibly fair in hidden object games when they have just a small portion of the object in plain view, and then you have to extrapolate and assume that the portion of something you're seeing is the thing they're talking about. But again, this game's not really hard, so complaining too much would just be kind of ridiculous. Looking for an eye, which apparently was there, and now we're looking for a cheese. Which is that cheese? Yes. And that's the last doll. And that's that, so we give him his dolls.
Thanks, buddy, but I've got more trouble. My cameraman just called in sick. Please help me. I swear I'll pay you back. Just turn on the lights and focus the camera. Hurry now.
So,
But I can't. I don't.
I would almost guarantee what has happened here is that two dogs made a vampire game, a straight vampire game. Maybe it was the vampire game we were playing last year. Had these animation and these 3D models and said, what else can we do with it? And they came up with this really contrived story.
Any fool can operate the camera.
I'm almost certain that's what's happened. But then I wouldn't also be surprised if a game company did just, our thing is there's always vampires in our games, even if it's not a main focus. It would be interesting, actually. Yeah, it's just like, yep, everybody's a vampire. We love vampires, so we're gonna do it. Control the camera by moving your finger left or right on the screen. Well, I guess you now know this was a cell phone game originally.
On my mark. 1, 2, 3. Hello, my naughty little girls and boys. Welcome to the 600th edition of Vamp Kids. Once upon a time, there lived a sad little vampire named Fred. He waited and waited, but his fangs didn't drop. His mom told him he needed to get enough sleep during the day to grow fangs. But naughty Fred would sneak out of his cozy coffin to watch TV or play computer games. Bad shot. Let's try again. On my mark. 1, 2, 3. Hello, my naughty little girls and boys. Welcome to the 600th edition of Vamp Kids. Once upon a time, there lived a sad little vampire named Fred. He waited and waited, but his fangs didn't drop. Bad shot. Let's try again. On my mark. 1, 2, 3. Hello, my naughty little girls and boys. Welcome to the 600th edition of Vamp Kids. Once upon a time, there lived a sad little vampire named
you have
Fred.
to.
He waited and waited, but his fangs didn't drop. Bad shot. Let's try again. On my mark.
It's not gonna work. Watch. I'll turn the mouse upside down.
Hello, my naughty little girls
Literally
and boys.
not touching
Welcome
anything.
to the 600th edition of Vamp
Now I'm
Kids.
touching the left stick on the
Once upon a
controller.
time, there lived a sad little vampire named Fred. He waited and waited, but his fangs didn't drop. Bad shot. Let's try again. On my mark. 1, 2, 3. Hello, my naughty little girls and boys. Welcome to the 600th edition of Vamp Kids. Once upon a time, there lived a sad little vampire named Fred. He waited and waited, but his fangs didn't drop. Bad shot. Let's try again.
So
On
even
my
the game
mark.
is telling me to skip.
1, 2, 3. Hello, my naughty little girls and
So
boys.
this is
Welcome
the
to
point where
600th
we've hit
edition of
an
Vamp Kids.
unacceptable,
Once upon a time, there lived a sad little vampire named Fred. He waited and waited,
level
but his
of
fangs
quality
didn't drop.
assurance
His mom told him he needed to get enough sleep
for
during the day to grow fangs. But naughty Fred would sneak out of his cozy coffin
video
to watch
game-
TV or play computer
like
games. He
for
refused to turn
port.
into a bat because he was afraid of heights. And he told his
But
teachers
apparently
he
if you
wouldn't read
stay
the Vamp classics.
over here, I'm not
even
clicking
Bram Stoker's.
anything.
Soon all the kids had their
Why would
canine
you
teeth, but
read
poor
Bram
Fred wasn't even
Stoker's?
teething. So Fred's mom took him to the dentist. The dentist said, the kid will never grow fangs if he doesn't act like a vampire. So Fred decided it was time to do what his parents and teachers said, and it worked. He started teething.
You have to go back
his
and
canine
forth.
teeth grew in, pearly white and sharp. His mom and dad sent him on holiday to Transylvania for his good behavior. The end. Thank you so much, friend. I don't even know how to express my gratitude. Can I get you discount tickets to a production?
You know, there's such thing as locking down the camera so it doesn't swing back and forth, by the way. That was terrible. Just awful. They should have fixed it, or just, you know, at the very least allowed me to turn over the mouse so that it's not getting any input, and if it starts in the middle, it should have just stayed in the middle. But you could have skipped that whole thing and just shown that scene. Bloody good show achievement. So we need to talk to him.
I'd like to talk about Nina. Nina? Right. Orlok is forcing me to marry her. I can't refuse him because he's older than me and the Count. He keeps saying, get married
And
move
he's
to
a
Hollywood.
count is what it says. They didn't even translate it right.
So you don't want to marry her. That's great. I also don't want to divorce my wife. She's not a Transylvanian, but I love her just the same. So then, why is he forcing the marriage? Childhood issues, I suppose. He didn't make it as an actor, and now he wants his daughter to make his dreams come true. But she doesn't want to be an actress. She's an environmentalist. I know, but the Count is very powerful. He did try therapy for a while, but he had a hard time taking orders from someone else.
So we're gonna have to stake him, apparently.
Therapy? Yes, his therapist is Miss Janine Seward. Her office is next to the Vampire State Building. I'd be
Vampire
forever
State
grateful
Building.
if you could find a way to change Count Orlok's mind.
That's a funny gag. See, this is trying to be comedic, and maybe in Finish it plays a lot better.
I don't need to go through that door now.
So, right now it seems like there's not even another door in this area, and so we go to the Vampire State Building. And this might be a whole street of buildings. Tap anywhere to continue. Yep. Find the therapist office. I guess it's here. So we might go into this building, we might go into this building, or we might just go into this one and that's it.
Seward's therapy. Who's there?
Hello, I'd like to have a psychological consultation.
I'm not feeling well. Please come back another day.
I'll have to convince her to see me. Some books on psychology might help.
Seriously? I'm gonna go find books on psychology. Psychology for dudes. I'm glad there's not a book series called For Dudes. Although maybe there is. Maybe there should be. If there was a book series of blank for dudes, I'd imagine one page would be text, and then the next page would be like a centerfold of somebody in a bikini. That's kind of what I'm imagining, or an ad for like alcohol. Any books on psychology?
Ooh, now that's what I'm talking about.
1999. So we're looking for...
I'm many things, but a thief isn't one of them. I must pay for these books.
So I need to
I'm many things, but
find coins. Like there's 3 of these books. 4 of these books. Why do you need to read the exact same book, by the way?
many things.
It needs to, it should have been like volume 1, volume 2, volume 3.
The mailbox is locked. The
See,
Vampire State Building. A skyscraper in the center of the city.
in a city that seems to be eternally covered in darkness.
I'm many things.
I don't understand. We need 6 coins. We need to find something. There's a key.
I'm many things.
So we can steal the key, but we can't steal the... we can't steal the...
I'm many things.
books. Interesting. There's a couple coins. 4 more to go. Okay, so it's not a... It's a book return box. It's not an actual mailbox. Let's see. 2 more coins. 1 more coin. So if you just pick up random coins on the ground, it's okay. If you pick up random books, it's not okay.
I'm many things. I'm many things.
So now what, we go here and then put this there. So 6 coins equals 6 times $19.99, which would be $120 of buying the exact same book. Ah, and now we can find things. So, umbrella, ball, hammer, broccoli. Where's a hammer? There's broccoli. There's a hammer. Now, onion spoon, fret saw. I guess this is a fret saw. Coffee grinder and feather. This is a coffee grinder and spoon. Where would a spoon be hidden? Up there. Pot, beetle, pan, screw, handbell. Need a beetle, that's that, and we need a screw. That's that. And now we're looking for a skeleton, which is there. Psychology for dudes.
I'll have to convince her to... Hello. I know all about the condition that you're suffering from. Surely a competent therapist like yourself should know the psychophysiological law of the proportional relation of the feeling intensity to the logarithm of the stimulus intensity, shouldn't she?
That's a bunch of gibberish.
What made you think I'm unaware of it?
Ah, the effects of the condition are increasing. I'd like to help you, Mrs. Seward.
Ms. Seward.
As you wish.
Well, come in.
Before we talk, I must test your psychological state. Find my test cards.
Before you do anything, find some things for me. If I walked into somebody's office and they said, find something for me, I would probably just walk right out. I'd be like, forget this. Hamburger, marker, perfume, mushroom, well wig. I bet this is... That's not a well wig? Okay. We'll have to see what that well gig... What that is. Perfume. So, if this is not a well gig, then I have no idea what it is. So I'm in a weird position where I just have to click on everything because I don't know what this word means. And, you know, just clicking on this and going to a Wikipedia definition, or, you know, just defining things. Apparently a world gig is a spinning top, and in their language, in Finnish, or translating Finnish to English. Lily, sock, plum, and button. That's probably a button. That's probably a lily. This is... We need a plum and a sock. Is that a plum? And is that a sock? Crown, lamb, duck, ruler, eyeshadow. Okay. Here's the duck. Ruler. Are either one of those a ruler? There's the lamb. Crown. And the eyeshadow. There's a ruler. Is this eyeshadow? I would call that more of a makeup kit, but okay. And a crown. And finally a book. one assumes that that is all we need to do in that area, so we're gonna have to find the other area. Boy, has the story taken a very, very different turn. It is just putting us in some very, very varied places. Although, compared to Alan Wake, I still kind of prefer this. Compared to walking around the same forest over and over again, and them just slightly changing it from a forest to a lumberyard, or from a lumberyard into a railway yard, all in the same forested area. It's like, you know, I know this is reused assets, almost certainly. I know that they chopped up parts of previous games and wrote a ridiculous story around it, but at the very least, the color palette changes a little bit. The things you're looking at changes a little bit. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.